welcome everyone. So we are joined here today with a group of concerned mothers and their children and a coalition of labor, faith, health, and environmental organizations to announce the first ever standards for industrial carbon pollution from new coal-fired power plants. And also to announce the fact that across the country, this coalition of groups has gathered over 1 million comments to the EPA in support of these groundbreaking standards. And also, in addition to that, in Virginia alone, we are proud to announce that we have gathered 31,483 comments statewide in support of this fantastic EPA standard. So I'm joined today. I'll announce our first speaker. Her name is Jamie Town. She's a mother of 4 located in the Richmond area. Is going to speak to why this important standard is critical to women and mothers and children.
Thank you very much, Annalie. I want to thank the Sierra Club and the League of Conservation Voters for asking me to speak today. As Annalie said, I am the mother of 4 children here in Richmond, Virginia. So this is something that I'm extremely concerned about, as all mothers and parents are. Every day I know that there are children who suffer from asthma attacks because of Richmond's polluted air. And that's why I'm pleased to see that the EPA has finally introduced the first standards around industrial carbon pollution. And I'm happy to share my support with these other 31,000 plus Virginians. Scientists and medical experts agree that carbon pollution is dangerous for children because it causes an increase in our climate's temperatures, and that in turn makes smog pollution worse, which triggers asthma attacks, and it permanently damages and reduces the function of children's lungs. As the weather heats up and the kids let loose for summer, we know that there are some children who are going to have to wake up and check the air quality before they're able to go outside and play. All children, I must say, have the right to be able to go outside and play every day of the summer, but their rights are currently being taken from them because large polluting industries currently have no limits on the amount of carbon pollution that they release every year. I'm fortunate enough to have 4 healthy children who are not affected by asthma attacks, but this issue is still personal to me because I have friends whose families suffer from Richmond's poor air. I know a young woman named Margot Holton, who has suffered from asthma attacks since she was a young girl. She's one of the people who has an app on her phone that tells her and alerts her of dangerous air qualities in Richmond. She says that she can hike 8 miles a day in the Blue Ridge Mountains and not need her inhaler, but she can barely breathe trying to make it up the stairs from the South Rocks along the James. All of Richmond's children deserve access to clean, healthy air, and American families want the EPA to do the right thing. After the bipartisan passage of the Clean Air Act and 2 Supreme Court decisions, it is time that the EPA stand up and do its job. A diverse coalition of groups have spoken up and shown overwhelming support for this rule. And now it's up to the EPA to listen to the American people and implement these protections. Thank you.
Hi guys, I'm Matt Sinclair with the Blue-Green Alliance. The Blue-Green Alliance is a coalition of top organizations of labor as well as environmental groups. Just 1 year ago, unemployment was at 9% and the economy was still losing jobs. Today, we're no longer losing jobs, and we've translated strategic investments into millions of jobs created. The good news about the jobs we've created over the past year alone is that many of them are doing double duty, putting people back to work and reinvigorating the economy and preventing effects of climate change and cleaning up the atmosphere. In the long run, the real choice is not jobs or environment. It's both or neither. What kinds of jobs will be possible in a world of depleted resources, polluted water and air? Over the last 40 years, environmental safeguards have resulted in waste reduction, energy efficiency, and greater economic competitiveness, creating thousands of new jobs and making existing jobs more secure, all while protecting the environment. This is one of many reasons why the Blue-Green Alliance and its labor and environmental partners supports the EPA's proposed standard that will require new power plants to emit fewer greenhouse gases. And what this means is that new power plants will be built cleaner and more energy efficient than current plants, and that will also help realize the full job retention and job creating benefits of a clean energy economy. In a global economy where the international competitors are leading in the development of clean technologies, weakening these safeguards means surrendering our economic future and losing out on millions of good American jobs. EPA action, coupled with specific job policies, must move forward to make the U.S. economy more competitive, put millions back to work, strengthen existing industries, and building the industries of the future. This standard is the first step towards meeting the moral commitment and addressing climate change. There is much more that needs to be done, but this is a reasonable and necessary first step as it makes sure that power companies do not revert back to their old ways without necessary climate and health safeguards. Between 1970 and 2009, total emissions of the 6 principal air pollutants fell by 63%, and private sector jobs and GDP grew by 86% and 204% respectively. Opponents of clean air and jobs often use the economic troubles of our country to move America backward at a time when polluters were free to pollute with no repercussions. They cite costs to industry with no discretion of the effects of pollution has on public health costs, our environment, or the well-being of children and families. If we believe in a future with good jobs, a clean environment, and a safer world, then we must act. An essential part of our moral responsibility as union leaders is to defend the long-term interests of working people. It has been said that we inherit the earth from our parents, but in reality, we borrow it from our children. It's our children's world. We must not fail to protect it. We support the EPA's authority to regulate these greenhouse gases as it is vital for our public health and the ability of America's transition to a clean economy. We must move our country forward to a clean energy future. Together, we can create both good jobs and protect the planet. Now I'll pass it over to Marco.
Thank you. I'm Marco Grimaldo. I'm the President and CEO of the Virginia Interfaith Center for Public Policy and also direct, through our work, the Virginia Interfaith Power and Light. Faith leaders throughout the Commonwealth of Virginia very concerned about the well-being of all Virginians, certainly very concerned about clean air, and especially supportive of the rulemaking coming from the Environmental Protection Agency. We are concerned about this for 2 reasons. I think a lot of people look to people of faith and wonder, well, why clean air? Why the environment? People of faith care about the environment in 2 ways. One is it's the right thing to do. We know that it benefits Virginians better if we work together for a better environment. But the other is it's also the moral thing to do. So in all of our faith traditions, we come to understand our relationship with God as caring for God's creation. So from both of those perspectives, it is vital for us to speak up and to tell the Environmental Protection Agency that we support this rulemaking. It will be the first opportunity to really address carbon emissions in a serious way. I was really very impressed as a new Virginian and a new Richmonder to find out that in fact Richmond suffers greatly as a consequence of asthma. It is a serious concern that results in costs that are unaccounted for in any other way. I was really impressed that more than 500,000 Virginians are affected by asthma, and that more than 171,000 of those are in fact children. So whether we pay for it through new rulemakings or whether we pay for it in healthcare costs, someone is paying for these ill effects, and we're very impressed by this being the right first and next step in creating clean air for the people of Virginia.
Great. Well, thank you very much, everyone, for coming, and we'll be happy to answer any other questions, but thank you very much.